I feel like Uzi is embracing his punk rock inspiration.
Yeah.
Like I told you before the pod, to me, he's doing it in a different fashion to where it's appealing to everybody. Playboi Carti, he had all the real niggas with him at one point, and then he just switched up out of nowhere and caught the bag after a whole lot of red. You feel me?
He's doing the vamp shit, the
vampire shit.
Honestly, I think that shit, the reason for that is that shit really goes at these festivals and at their concerts.
Yeah, I know.
That rage lifestyle, he gets all the...
Mosh pit,
I'm being
concert
quite frank,
music.
a lot of these white boys love that shit. They love to dress up like vampires and bloodsuckers and go out and party and rage and have fun. And I'm not knocking it because he's built a big fan base that way. And I think Uzi's benefited from being able to... Like, I think people who are fans of Carti are fans of Uzi.
Yeah.
So he can have his fan base, but also maintain a more mainstream appeal as well, you know? His rollout for the Pink Tape was pretty well documented. I feel like his performance at the BET Awards was big. Shouting out Ice Spice getting hit with phones from JT,
and she got the phone back, but
and honestly,
phones were flying.
Their relationship has been like a cult classic. I don't know if that makes sense. A cult, like their relationship will go down in history because of how big and popular it is.
Okay.
It's a classic relationship.
Classic relationship.
Like I got people who I'm like, why the hell do you care about Uzi and JT coming up to me talking, oh, you heard about Uzi and JT and this and that? I'm like, what the fuck?
A lot of people know that she got her phone back.
She got her phone back.
A lot of people know that she got her phone back. To me, I just feel like Uzi is doing it differently than how Carti was doing it. You feel me? Carti is on some vampire shit. I don't know what he's on, but it's working for him. But Uzi, I feel like he fucks with more anime. You feel me? Like he's an anime nigga, so it's like it's just a different look on the same thing, different creative,
a different lane in the same kind of element, if that makes sense.
Because Uzi, he's pushing the barriers with his rock shit. He you know he's high. He's heavily inspired by rock from the jump. We always knew that. Yeah. Feel me? So right now he's kind of expressing himself, and I'm just saying that it's more appealing to the broad audience that I categorize and I fall into. You feel me?
I would agree. I think honestly though, in my personal opinion, I think Carti has dropped better music than Uzi.
I don't know about that.
I think Carti's last album was better than the Pink Tape. If we're matching up Eternal Take and or Atake, like I said earlier.
I said Atake. I don't give a
I think Eternal Take could have a better race. I didn't like the Pink Tape as much. I think, look, this is what I like. I like the song with Don Toliver, Patience.
Okay.
I like Spin Again, X2 with the TK shout out that I saw you put.
Yeah.
A with Travis Scott and Crush 'Em. But other than that, I mean, I don't count Zoom, which is a bonus track, because I heard Zoom in a sophomore year of high school because it was a leak from way back.
The leak bandit.
I don't count it.
The leak bandit over here.
The trapping out the bandwidth. We're trapping out the bandwidth over here.
Look, I said it before the pod. I'm going to say it right here. There is an art to finding leaks to music, and this nigga Freezy has mastered the craft. If you want consultations, call this nigga. But I'm
going to have to charge
It's like he's a part of OVO. I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to have to charge
and that's a gem.
I'm going to have to charge him.
That's a gem. I'm not going to lie. It's like he's part of OVO. I'm not going to lie.
Listen to this. Uzi has Bring Me to Horizon. I don't know if you've heard of Bring Me to Horizon before. Have you heard of them? They're like a
band.
They're like an emo rock band, like, you know, that were like popular in middle school with a lot of people.
Okay.
But they have some hits. They have some hits and Baby Metal, which that song, I don't know if you saw a clip from Kai.
Okay.
He
was listening to it,
He
right?
was listening to it,
and then he was like,
what the hell do I even do to this shit?
He was like, yo, I don't want to say this shit is trash. And then it just changed, and he was like, oh.
And then it went back to being trash. I'm going to be real. I didn't like the project. I think Uzi could have done better. And I think that is evident from his first week sales. He sold 165 first week, which I think is the biggest week for any hip-hop album so far this year.
Okay.
And like we asserted, the first one to go #1 this year. But the original projections were 250K first week.
Okay.
He had like 100,000 decrease in sales. And I think that's because he has such a pull that he can bring in an audience that would typically sell somebody who's dropping an album 250,000 first week. But when they go and listen to the album, not only is it so long that they can't get through it, because sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't, but the quality of the music on there, people just wasn't resonating with it.
That's what you feel. Based on the numbers, that's how you feel.
I think his numbers show that, yeah.
Or is it too early to tell?
I don't think so. I think that first week will tell you a lot. I think it'll tell you a lot nowadays.
All right, but before we go any further, I do want to put out say my standouts. You feel me?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Flooded the Face.
That one was good.
Mama, I'm sorry. You did say X2. You fuck with X2 too, with the shout out to TK. And I liked I Gotta. To me, the flow was crazy, and he caught the melody perfect, and that was something that I would just play on my own.
Yeah. I think it had some decent
those
songs.
were my standouts.
He had Nicki on this for like a remix to stuff. He had an interpolation of I Hate Being Sober from Chief Keef, and I think 50 was on that original song, Wiz Khalifa. Hate Being Sober. He did the Chop Suey remix.
My brother fuck with Chop Suey.
Yeah, I used to listen to that shit all the time. I think Uzi's version was garbage. Was hot garbage. I'm sorry. I don't need you to redo this. And it didn't even sound that good. I'm good off of it. I'm never gonna listen to that shit ever again. I'm good. They'll leave the original sometimes.
But you see how that's crazy how we know Chop Suey, like we know other genres of music.
But his younger audience might not. They might not know them. I think I saw a clip also. Was it Wallow?
Okay.
Wallow, he was like, "Wake up!" No. He was going crazy with it. So shout out to them. That was a very funny clip.
You gotta
shout out Gilly and Wallow.
I have said that you have to fuck with other different music, but it just shows your knowledge. Fucking spans
exactly
a vast
and it
field.
shows where he got his influence from too. So I salute it because he was being very experimental and he had some good songs on it. And even like the Baby Metal one, I kind of enjoyed it a little bit, even when it was trash. I don't know. I thought it was a fun listen, but I think
I kind of skipped through the project.
It hurt his mainstream appeal a little bit, and I think that's why he went on Instagram. I think a couple days after the drop and said, "If you guys get this to whatever." I'll drop the album you were really waiting for.
Oh, really?
He came out and said that. So I think he kind of tempered people's expectations.
He's playing that game, huh?
Exactly. He's like, hey, I did this because I wanted to mess around and experiment with music, which is, you should because you're an artist and you're a creative, and I think he's very creative and talented as an artist. So I think he still has something in the tuck maybe to, maybe get him back to that EXO tour life type of appeal, if that makes sense. He went super viral with the Just Wanna Rock. That's what, in my head, I'm thinking, how can this guy who had a #1 hit song, I don't know if it went #1 or not, but that shit was a #1 song.
It went #1.
Just Wanna Rock was a #1 song.
It was.
Everybody and their fucking mom knew that song. I bet you some grandmas even knew that song.
The Jersey Club sound, Philly.
It went viral.
Embracing it.
It was at the Super Bowl. So you go from that to this album, which I think is a misstep, to be honest. I don't think you can go from your biggest single since EXO Tour Life, and I think this one was bigger than EXO Tour Life. I think the Wanna Rock got him more eyes that he's never gotten before. So I think it was a misstep.
I don't think it's bigger because EXO Tour Life was a staple in his career. That was his first one.
It is. It's the first one.
You had to prove that you could make the #1 hit.
It's the first one, but I don't think it necessarily grabbed the same amount of people as the Just Wanna Rock could grab him.
Because at this time,
at its core, EXO Tour Life was still a very hip hop kind of trap influenced song from when he was on tour with The Weeknd. But this Just Wanna Rock shit it was like a dance. It was for the club, you know what I mean? It was everybody.
For TikTok.
For everybody, for TikTok. Perfectly said. So I think this releasing the Pink Tape was a mixtape. Was a misstep. But I think his core audience will still fuck with him, and I'm definitely gonna still check out his next album when he drops it. But let's see how the numbers do next time.
It's not too far left like Carti. It's not too far left to where you're not gonna want to listen to it at all. There's a few songs that could appeal to everybody. Yeah. Everybody could take something from it and appreciate it with the Pink Tape. You feel me?
I feel like the release, like the lead up to the release, made the album underwhelming. Because I expected a lot from the album and I didn't get it. And I still, at this point, a couple of weeks after the drop, maybe even it's almost a month after the drop, it hasn't moved the needle. It doesn't move the needle for me in his career. There's nothing in here that's going to make me think, oh, wow, this is going to put him on another higher pedestal than he already was. To me, it's just like, yeah, it's cool and you experimented with some stuff, but I didn't really fuck with it. And it's not even like a pure concept like rock album because he's doing other shit too, So he's not really trying to stay true to a specific genre or route, but I don't know. I feel like he could have done better. And I think he has not bought himself too much time. I think he drops again within the next year. Year and a half. Like we say sometimes you drop a project and you can live off of it for a while. This one, I don't think Uzi can afford to live off it for a while. I think he needs to come back sooner than later. But yeah, that's what I think about the Pink Tape. You have any other thoughts?
Nah.